Great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to do a live because we haven't done much on the live channel for a while. I've been pretty caught up with other things, as you know. Uh, just to catch everybody up, I know a lot of you are well aware of what's been going on with me. I started out the year with great intent to head to Florida and do shows. And a funny thing happened along the way. I started not being able to breathe. And it turned out that after a brief hospital stay in Arizona and returning to Seattle, where my insurance coverage is, I was analyzed and I have a form of lymphoma, which they have just started treatments on. I've had two out of a series of 12. And I can report, well, first of all, it took a long time for them to get a positive diagnosis and really know exactly what was going on. And yes, Zeno for the win. He's been great help in so many ways. I can't thank him enough. Um, and part of that was helping me analyze what the doctors were telling me and figure out what questions to ask so we could get to the bottom of all of this. I'm very grateful that he has experience with naturopathy because he understood a lot of the terms that I didn't. So anyway, I've spent a lot of time because all the show stock that I was going to take to the shows, well, I can't do shows right now because I can't be around big crowds of people. And honestly, I just don't have the energy for it. So most of that is in antique stores now. I still have some back stock, but my antique stores, I have mailed stuff to Florida and Kentucky, and I have packed the Washington stores full. So the folks who are able to get to those, well, they will get to see some pretty cool stuff. And so we've been doing a lot of that. Maggie Max, continued prayers. Thank you so much. And I just want to say to everybody, wow, the level of support and the outpouring and the thoughts and prayers, I can't tell you how uplifting it's been. It really helped me go into this with a very calm feeling about it, like, you know what, I have a ton of people on my side. This is going to be okay somehow, and it seems like it is. I I had the first two treatments. There will be a total of 12. It's going to stretch out over a 6-month period, so it's going to be a while before I'm going to be back to doing. I'll probably miss the entire year of shows and appraisal fairs and events that a lot of you folks are used to seeing me at. um, it's just the way of things right now. If you saw the video tonight, you saw that I went out and figured out how to safely go out sourcing. I was very pleased because I actually had really good energy that day. I've been pretty tired since, so it comes and goes. But the treatment has been it's been interesting. It has not been exactly what I expected. Because this is a blood-borne disease, that's the reason that the treatments are spread out over a long period of time because it has to go through your whole system. And so they're giving me a monoclonal antibody one day in a very long treatment. I think I was there 7 or 8 hours the first day. And they're following that up with a chemo chaser. I have to say I'm really grateful. It is just a chaser. It is a really relatively small amount of chemo. Chemo definitely to me is scary because it goes after everything, good, bad, and indifferent, and it doesn't really distinguish between them. Fortunately, the way they do it, because of this new technology with the antibodies, they use it to boost the antibodies, and the antibodies help direct it to where it's supposed to go. So I haven't had nausea, I haven't lost hair. We're still at the beginning of this, but so far it's been pretty good about side effects, with the exception of fatigue. That is real. And they also put a bunch of prednisone in it. And I know a lot of folks are familiar with prednisone. A lot of people get very irritable. I, on the other hand, I just get insomnia. So I was completely exhausted from the procedure and then didn't sleep for 5 days. So that was pretty rough. I have to say, honestly, I should feel very fortunate that it's not even more intense because I have friends who are going through this. Another friend of mine started treatment for colon cancer the same day I started. His is more hardcore. I get it. Um, but this is enough. I don't recommend it. If you can keep yourself healthy and happy and not have to go through this, well, it's definitely better. So, you know, two steps forward, one step back, but I definitely am feeling, it's up and down. It's day to day. Today I went out and I took some things to the post office, and I have a lovely band on from procedure. I'm still having water build up on in my pleural cavity between your chest and your lungs. And so I have to go in every week, and they put a catheter in your back, oddly enough, which I think is great because I can't see it back there, which suits me fine. I'm one of these patients who's like, do whatever you want, I'll just keep my eyes closed. So they put that in the back, and then they drain uh, between a quart and a half and 2 quarts of fluid every week until they're able to get my lymph system to go back to operating in the way it's supposed to, which is the purpose of the treatments. That's going to continue to be a thing. And they say it'll probably be 3 months before some of those symptoms abate. And at the same time, the process is going to create more, more potential challenges for the immune system and things like that. So right now in the summer, while it's open air, when I feel up to it, I'm going out. As time goes on, I probably will stay home a lot more and not be doing a whole lot at all. So um, someone said prednisone makes them hungry and not sleep. And yes, that definitely is true. And I've had that too. And actually, the hungry part is good. I've had a pretty good appetite. So um, that Lena says she passes out if she sees needles, and I know that there's some truth to that. My caretaker here in Washington, she has, and they put it on her chart. She has what they call white glove syndrome, which is her blood pressure is normal until she goes in the doctor's office, and when they take it in the doctor's office, it shoots through the roof. And when she does it at home, she's fine. They had her do it for a period of about 2 weeks while I was here, and her blood pressure was fine every day. And she went in, and it was like 180 or something, sky high. So, we all have our tolerances, but so far mine has been pretty good overall. Um, I want to, yeah, the diet is definitely something. I'm taking a ton of supplements. Diet has definitely been a thing. I've been really, I'm trying to avoid very much sugar at all. I'm supposed to eat some fruit, get a certain amount of fiber, get a certain amount of protein, drink lots of water. And that's another reason I'm not venturing out too much, because I have to be close to home where I can control this, or be very selective about what I get if I'm out. Um, yes, white coat syndrome is real, actually. And it does have a name, Beth, yes. Um, and my caretaker is doing great. She's been super helpful. She and Zeno are my caretakers. They're the ones who decided to set up the GoFundMe when Heidi and then Burner Brothers and um, Heidi at Rosie's Auction House and the Burner Brothers and the Kate from Follow That Bug and Dagny and from Flying Pigs Thrifts and Mike from Well Swung all did fundraisers for me. And a whole lot of you uh, all of you have contributed in ways that you will never even know to my well-being. But I know a lot of people also gave financial contribution if they could, and I'm very grateful for that. Things are surprisingly expensive, even with self-employed health insurance. It's not like a group policy. You pay for lots and lots of stuff yourself. So I'm really grateful for that. And I wanted to mention that part of the reason for tonight's video was I wanted to explain, because I did have one comment from someone, and I understand the optics of it, so I wasn't mad. But she said, gee, you're outsourcing a bunch of stuff and having a shopping spree while people are giving to this GoFundMe. That's a lot of chutzpah. And I thought, well, I understand why somebody would see that and say that. I just want you to know when I started in the business 25 years ago, I realized very quickly that you have to reinvest your capital. If you go to Tiffany's or Macy's or Target or Walmart, you don't see the same thing on the end cap every time you go. You don't see the same thing in the window because otherwise people walk on by. And it's the same if you're in an antique mall or a show or even online with an eBay store. You can't just have the same stuff and never do anything new. So all the money in that I have in merchandise, if I sell a swung base for $200 and I paid 100 goes right back into the kitty for buying the next thing. So I just want to assure you that um, my business has to be self-sustaining, and I am not having a shopping spree on anybody's donations. I can guarantee you that. That is just to help me through this period of time where I'm not able to do my regular work. So again, I just want to thank all of you who contributed. We exceeded our goal. It was quite stunning, really, and very humbling. So um, thank you for all of that. And um, also, I've had a few people do some very nice things in addition, because I know that it's not so easy to get out. I want to do a little sharing with you here. I got a box from, I've gotten a few boxes actually, but I got a box from Connie Jean, who's in the chat here. I usually get to see her when I do teak stock. I wasn't able to do teak stock this year. And she sent me some really, really fun stuff. And I just wanted to share it because um, it was very kind of her. And at a time when it's hard for me to get out, this is really great. Um, let's see here. So, first of all, there was this. This is called the deck, and the deck is really cool. She must have noticed. Annette, arting is a verb from Portland. I purchased a bunch of her father's playing card collection, and so I've been selling playing cards. And I think that Connie Jean must have noticed this. These were done probably in the 80s, I would say, by a company in New York, and they had all of these very famous illustrators do the illustrations. So William Steig did all the hearts, and all these other folks did various things. There's the Joker with a Rodney Dangerfield quote on it, which I thought was really funny. Um, Here's the hearts. That's a William Steig. So they're all very comical, and I think it's just a great deck. And I have to admit, um, my caretaker here, interestingly enough, one of the neighbors here is the triage nurse where I'm getting my treatments, and so she has us over, and we play gin. And so I'm going to take that and use it the next time we do. Um, get single swap cards with the collection too, or just full decks? Well, those are full decks. I know that people do the single swap cards, and so many of the old decks are missing jokers because of that. People would collect the jokers, and they figured, back then, well, playing cards, who cares? They give them out free. Well, I just sold a pre-prohibition set for $35 on eBay. They're not free now. And so, unfortunately, part of the reason for the value is a lot of the jokers are missing. Um, let's see here. What else was in this little package? A very cute Wade seahorse. I've always liked this piece. I always intended to keep one, so I'm going to. Um, this is a neat little tobacco tin in really good shape. The champagne flavor, the height of good taste. This looks old. It is old, but actually they didn't change it. It looks like 1910s. I think they made the same one up until maybe the 1950s or 60s. I prefer gin and rum. Yeah, well, that's a different game. Um, there also was this, and I thought this was fun because Make It Mac Tonight. I don't know if any of you remember this 1980s McDonald's advertisement. They were basically trying to do something sort of like the California Raisins. So they had these characters that looked like a moon, and they basically did a send up of Mac the Knife by Bobby Darin. And Bobby Darin's estate sued because they did not get permission. And they said, we do not want McDonald's using that song. And so this had to go off the market. So I have a feeling these are collectible because there's a story behind them. That was not a good moment with McDonald's. You would think that they would have figured that someone should check the copyright on that. um, I always talk about liking painted brass from India, and there's a pair of vases here with the painted brass. I think those are really fun. So this was just really, really nice and very thoughtful. She said this was stuff she was going to show me at Teak Stock, which I would have gladly bought, but she sent it along because I didn't get to go. This purse, which I think is just fabulous, is yes. Oh, that's right, Peter. Yes, Moonlighting. That's right. Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd was a huge show then, and that was part of the reason for the moon faces. I'd forgotten about that. So I think this purse is just really cute. It looks like something out of probably the 60s or 70s. And the funny thing is, back in the day, this is the kind of purse my grandmother would have had. And now it's a purse you would see fashionistas running around. Oh, Elena, that's very kind of you. Thank you for the super chat. I was not expecting that. And I just love sharing this stuff. I feel like we're all put here to do something in life. And if I can share information and help people to appreciate these things and know more about them, um, partly so that we can be stewards of them and sustain them into the future, I would frankly be very happy if a lot of this stuff was around a lot longer than I am and that people in the future can enjoy it too. And also, so we don't use so much stuff because, the world's got a lot of stuff in it already. And if we can preserve the old stuff and get people to really be excited about it, then we've already got that. And it's really cool and it's fun and it's different. You know, who did you see walking down the street with this purse today? Probably nobody. Who did you see walking down the street with the Coach purse? Probably a few people. um, she also sent a couple of buckles. I thought I'd show this one in particular because my caretaker here, Stephanie is her name, used to live in Fairbanks, and they would go to Anchorage because the Fur Rendezvous is a big, huge deal that's been going on for decades. And so here is something from the Fur Rendezvous. Um, and I just thought that was really neat. Let's see. Okay, and one other thing that she found, and I mentioned this because it brings up something else, and she said, I found another pair of designer earrings at our Goodwill, and wow, look at the price she paid, $1.99. She had found a pair of Fendi that I sold for her, and we split, and it was amazing. This one's missing one stone, and she said, if you can get them repaired at Rhinestone Rosie, said, yes, I will take them to Rhinestone Rosie because I actually think I want to do a little short subject for you when I feel up to going there. I probably about once a week venture out, and Rhinestone Rosie is a really interesting person. She's been on Antiques Roadshow as an appraiser. She's very knowledgeable, and she repairs costume jewelry, and she's right here in Seattle. But she does it for people all over the country, she and her daughter. So they have a great shop with lots of bling. So I'll try to get in there when I feel up to it, and we'll take those to have her put a stone in it. Peggy says she'd walk down the street with that purse. So anyway, Connie Jean, thank you. That was very, very sweet of you. And it was really fun to have something to open and look at. I also wanted to show this. This is something that Donna sent me from Missouri. And she said, I always liked it and thought it was really cute. And it is. And it is by a company we used to sell these new back when I was involved with the Factory Outlet Center and they had a Northwest store. This is a company called Becca, and it is made of Mount St. Helens ash. And there's the signature on the back. A young woman came to me about a year ago and said, I'm interested in doing some research on Mount St. Helens stuff because I think I'd like to write a book about it. I don't think that's gotten anywhere. I'm going to try to contact her. If she doesn't, I just might. So I'm starting to put aside Mount St. Helens stuff it will not be too long. In 2030, it will be 50 years since the mountain exploded. And people made a ton of stuff out of the ash because there was a ton of ash laying around and they needed to find something to do with it. So it's really a rather interesting story. So it was really nice to get that from Donna. It will either go to the person who's said she's going to write a book, or I'll keep it and I'll work on something myself. My favorite historical eruption. Yes, it was fun for me. Oh, Naomi, thank you. That's really nice. Um, it was, yes, Mount St. Helens. It was amazing. It was so interesting being here as a kid during that, because we lived north of it, and because of the rotation of the Earth, the ash went the other direction. We got no ash at all, but my relatives who lived in Centralia got 10 inches. And my friend who was in Yakima on the other side of the mountain, near where Miss Wildlife lives now, she got stranded because she was with the choir and they could not drive the bus back and they couldn't leave for days because if you had a dry type air cleaner, which almost all vehicles do now, they would just clog up with ash and then the thing would stall. And so lots of people were stranded for a long time. It was quite an event. Um, I was trying to sell a vase for Mount St. Helens this weekend at my yard sale, and no one had a clue about it. Yeah, that's interesting, and that's the reason I think that it might be time to talk about this stuff, because there's cute things like that that were made, and there's some really beautiful things that were made out of Mount St. Helens ash. Some beautiful art glass, uh, little faux emeralds made into jewelry. I mean, people were really inventive and did a lot of crazy things with it. Let's see. I also wanted to thank my friend Sally in Portland. She sent me a Triple X root beer shirt, which I was going to wear tonight, except that I I haven't washed it yet because I'm kind of coveting it, and I I I'm not sure I want to wear it. So, and gosh, all of you, thank you so much. It's really kind that it's very nice of you to give super chats and things like that. I certainly never expect it, but I'm always grateful, and I do intend to put this back into the channel and what we're doing, and keep on going as best as possible. So uh, let's see here. Oh, Elderly Poodle, my mailing address is in my profile, um, and everything is forwarding now. So I'm trying to think of what else I should tell you about what's been going on. I'm getting out when I can and when I feel up to it. Like I said today, I went to the post office, I went to UPS, I had the procedure on the chest, and I came home and I slept for 3 hours. And that's how a lot of days go. So, it's a little at a time, but we're making progress, and the prognosis is good, very good, from what I'm told. And that's the thing that's important. So, oh, Karen's asking, how often do I get treatments? I am getting treatments every 4 weeks. It's just a rotation. It's a treatment, and then a lab, and then a week off, and then another lab, and then the next treatments. And they are back to back, a long day and a shorter day. The one drug and then the chemo the next day. So that's how that is being done. And because of that, it means that really it's kind of that third week is the sweet spot where I'm more likely to feel up to doing some things. And I have definitely also recorded a lot of video ahead. So we will keep entertained, and I will have new stuff on the main channel and even the shorts channel on hopefully the same basis that we've been doing. I may do a few less videos here and there, but we're gonna try to keep it up as best as we can. The one nice thing is I'm staying home a lot, so editing is definitely something I can do. uh, let's see here. Yes, I'm reading a comment here. I love that George appreciates small and not expensive collectibles. He sees beauty in everything. And I'm glad that you feel that way. I do too. I want collecting to be accessible to everybody. Not everybody has a Tiffany glass budget. Not everybody is in a position to collect Pearpoint puffy stained glass slag glass lamps from 1910. Not everybody is in a position to collect Juliana four-piece bib sets and prunes, but yet there's wonderful costume jewelry that you can get for 15 and 20 and $25. And there's fun collectibles that anything from marbles to action figures, if you're a kid from the 80s or 90s, to art glass and depression glass, and there's things for all budgets. And I just want people, I think what I try to do as much as I can is to show what is quality or has a collectible nature to it within those different price ranges. Because I will admit, I go into a lot of antique malls now that are populated by younger dealers, and they're excited and they're enthused, and that's great. And then I look at the stuff and it's like, well, it's old, but it's not really collectible. It's just old. Not everything becomes collectible in the long run. I see spaces that have, you know, sort of beaten up aluminum ware from 1950, and I think, who's the customer for this? I'd rather see somebody spend the same $5 and get something that actually has a brand name or a designer name or some aspect to it that gives it a bigger collector following. Because, I figure Americans in particular change what they collect from time to time, and they like to collect different things. So I like the idea that maybe, at the end of your collecting of one thing, if you switch to something else, that there's some residual value for you. Um, I I am seeing again some super chats. I may have missed some. I just want to again thank you, anybody who did that. Because I see there's five. I see a notice, and I think I only mentioned three of you. Um, oh, let's see. Fox Yvonne Red, thank you very much. And Tiger, thank you. That's great. Okay, now I think I got all of you. It's very, very kind of you, and I do greatly appreciate your support in all the ways that all of you do. Um, Precious Moments, there's a good example, exactly. Precious Moments, yeah, the big nativity scenes, they're worth money. The original 31, I think it is, they're worth some money. A whole lot are just sitting there. Carol Sue Pope has been in the chat, and she's been involved with Avon for a long time. And there are some things Avon did that are definitely collectible, especially some of the jewelry now. There's a lot of things they did that are really good quality, but they made so many steins, so many bottles that they may never be worth more than $5. It's okay if you like them, if they fit your collection. I have an Avon bottle. It's a Studebaker because I collect Studebaker stuff, and I think it's great. I paid $5. It has the original box. I probably could sell it for $5. I'm not going to because it fits my collection. So, like what you like, but again, my goal is to help you figure out what the things that are going to have some legs to them are. So, um, I think with that, I think what we'll do is we'll do our first giveaway. We're going to have three giveaways. And in honor of, I'm down to 10 treatments. So we're going to have 10 items in the sale, and all of them are going to start at $10 each. But first, let's give something away. We're going to have three giveaways. To have if you would like to participate in the giveaway, which is free, all you have to do is I'm going to give you a code word and have you all put it in the chat, any of you who want to participate. And then Zeno is going to use, uh, he has some sort of a Nightbot is what it's called, that will pick at random somebody to be the recipient, and we'll do one now, we'll do one in the middle of the sale, and we'll do one right at the very end. So the word to enter is the word present or present, depending on how you look at it. Present. So if you folks want to go ahead and put the word present into the chat, we'll know you're present. And that way we will be able to draw somebody's name. The first thing that we're going to give away is I'm going to go ahead and give away this. Now this is a necklace. It's multi-strand. It's made of little, I believe these are bugle beads because they're oblong. It's a very pretty piece. I do want to show you this. This has a very new catch on it, a lobster claw catch. Generally, when we see that, we assume that this is a newer piece of jewelry. So I don't want to mislead you and have you think that this is particularly old. Now, it is possible, because I noticed the coloration is different, that they replaced an earlier catch with it. But I am with jewelry like people are with quilts. To me, you date it by the last piece added to it. So to me, I'm going to say this is relatively contemporary. But it's still a pretty piece, and we are going to, I'll put it around so you see it lays pretty nicely. And so we'll give you folks another moment or two, and you will only have to put in the word present this one time if this works right. And then when we do the other two, you'll already be in there. So we're going to yes, Monty. Yes, the other two pieces are not jewelry pieces. So go ahead and put it in there anyway. And if you win this and it's not for you, we'll draw someone else. It might not be bugle beads. Some two cuts and hex cuts look like that. Let me see if I can hold it up closer. Maybe you can tell us, Karen, because I know you have some knowledge about this. There it is, a little bit closer for you. And there we go. Well, Naomi, that's very sweet. She said a giveaway at this time in your life makes me tear up. But to be honest with you, I just feel like you have been so gracious and wonderful to me that I feel like it's the least I can do. I just want to give back in some way. Okay. I think we have 47 entries. They look shorter than bugles. They do look a little shorter to me too. And no, I don't have a hat to go with. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and do the first drawing here then. Zeno says that we have everybody in. So we're going to go ahead and I will send him a message to give it a whirl. Okay. Wolves 2018 to 2019. And that's appropriate because you're the one who told us that we were having some glitches and got us back on the right track with this broadcast. So very good. Please send me your address and information to theantiquenomad@gmail.com. And that will be true as well in the sale. If you win a piece that we're selling tonight, that will be the place to send your information so that I can get an invoice out to you. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start putting some things up to sell now. And remember, all of this, what we're going to do is we'll put it up. You'll just bid right in the chat. When the bids seem to be stopping, I will say, okay, last call. And we'll just make sure that the person who wants it gets it. I know there's a little bit of a lag, so we'll give people a little bit of a chance. Everything is starting at $10. It's 10 items for $10 in honor of me only having 10 treatments to go. So this is our first piece. This is Fenton, and it is the melon shape, and it's this really nice cased glass that they did in the 1950s or 60s. Let me see what we have here. And yes, and I'll type bid end in the chat when that comes. So Foxy Von Red is at $10. Very good. This piece measures approximately 5 inches tall. It's the little one. They made big ones as well. And when I say cased glass, notice that there's pink and then a little bit of a clam broth. And that is the reason that you have this nice color. There's a name for this that Fenton had, and I'm ashamed to say I can't remember it right now. Somebody might remember. Okay, we have 25 as our current high bid with Foxy. And It's all in perfect shape. I made sure everything that I'm showing you tonight is. And so, oh yes, that's right, Penny. That is how we met. Is you won the treasure craft book? Yes. Um, and thank you, Diane. I feel pretty good. I took a nap, so I would be strong for this. So Foxy Von Red now, Lisa Ross at $30. Tracy says she has two of those. Yes, I've seen them in blue as well. Okay, $30 with Lisa Ross. Foxy is at 40, and there is the handle in pink. I always like the contrast on this piece, and they're just really nicely done. The way they crimp the handle too, they were their creators were just really good. The glass blowers, the fact that they could crimp this and not break it through is amazing to me. Lisa at 50, Foxy at 55 is the high bidder currently, and it looks like it's down to the two of you folks. So let us know, and we will. And it's really great to see all of you folks too. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here tonight, and I'm glad I get to be here with you. We've got 60 with Lisa Ross. Yes, it does almost look like a bamboo handle somehow. And we do have a variety of different stuff. 65. It is a nice color, isn't it, Sarah? I've always liked the pinks, and I feel like pink is coming back into style because so many people painted their houses white and gray, and now they're realizing that that's kind of monotone. So they're looking for color to add. And the nice thing is you can add all sorts of color to that. 85 with Foxy now. Yeah, this is, I believe these were done in the mid 1950s, if I remember correctly, about the same time that Jeanette Glass was doing shell pink and other such things. Lisa at $90 is our high bidder. And yeah, it's very delicate, a cute piece. Foxy at 95. Pardon me, I've got a staying hydrated is one of the hardest parts of all this. There we go. We're at 95. Lisa, let us know. And Lisa at 100. So Foxy, let us know. Yeah, it's a very pretty piece, and I think you'll like it when you see it in person. If you put it in a window, because I'm seeing it up against light, it actually is just translucent enough that it has a glow to it, which is nice. Foxy now our high bidder. Okay, and Lisa says out, and thank you very much, Foxy Von Red. That's very kind, and I hope you really enjoy it. I'll set it aside here, and we will uh, at the end, by the way, if people end up with more than one item, we will combine shipping. So um, we'll figure it all at the end there. Yeah, I do love the creamy paint color too. Let's see. Oh, I should make a note. I'm sorry. Okay. The next piece that we have is this, and this is the Viking Glass Sleeping Cat paperweight. Well, I don't know if he's sleeping or playing or what, but he's definitely recumbent. And it does have the Viking label on the back. And again, we're starting at $10. Everything tonight will start at $10. And this one measures about, I outsmarted myself and put my measuring tape aside somewhere. Um, it's approximately 6.5 inches by about 4.5 or 5. Carol Sue is at $20 on the cat. One thing I like about the satin glass, let's see if I can do this. I have it rigged up here. Let's see if I'm as clever as I thought I was. Is that we can do, here we go. So if you put light behind it, it turns any color that you put behind it, which I think is really fun. So I've got a light that's kind of changing here from blues to pinks. And I really like that about satin glass, actually. People are really, oh, well, we love color in glass, but, with a piece like this, you can have it be any color you want. People sometimes will underlight these as well, like they do with paperweights. Fatbird Finds is at 30. It's great to see you here, by the way. I have I've been actually watching Flippin' and Sippin', but I have not actually been commenting because I was afraid if I got into it, I wouldn't have the energy. And Lorray, I appreciate your bid, but we actually have a bid already of $30 with Bird Finds as our current high bid. So there we go. We've got that up there. So let us know if anyone else is interested. Otherwise, we'll close this one off because we have some more to show you here. And we've got 30 with Fat Birds. Carol Sue, let us know. And yeah, may have to refresh. Yes, always refresh if you're finding you're a little bit behind, because I know that these things are slow sometimes. So we're at 30 with Fat Birds. And if we have any, yes, Diana still has the anatomically correct frogs. Oh, that's great. Those just make me laugh. All right, we are going once, going twice. Carol Sue says she's out. And so that goes to Fatbird Finds. Thank you very much. And let us know, and we will send it. I'm pretty sure that's Laura I see out there. And it's great to see you. It's great to see all you folks. It's really, really nice to be here doing this. I'll tell you, there's certain things when you get in a jam, you think, am I going to get to do this again? And it's just wonderful to be here. So let's see. Our next piece is just a little guy, but it is a shapely little guy. And it is, if you saw the video tonight, well, you'll know where it came from. And we are starting this at $10. This is Wedgwood Jasperware. You see other companies that made Jasperware-like things, but they're just not quite the same quality. Wedgwood just, the way they did this slip in a second application, it has dimension and texture that the other companies that did this never could quite match. So $10 is the opening bid on this. If anybody is interested in the Wedgwood box, $10 is the opening bid. It does have lots of neoclassical figures around the edges here. And I just thought the shape was really neat. It's about roughly 4 inches by an inch and a half. Just a nice little dresser box. Carol Sue bids $20. Thank you, Carol Sue. And it's in great shape. I always do try to be careful because, with these things that were produced for a while, you might as well have one that's perfect, because a perfect one is out there. I know people say you're awfully picky about condition. Well, if something is really rare or really old and hard to find, I will definitely give that a shot. But if it's something like this, where it's more available, then I want to make sure that it's as clean as possible. So just one moment. Hello there.
Hi, you're online.
I am.
Okay,
Okay, we'll see you later.
bye.
I have someone lovely checking in on me every so often, which is great. Um, $25 now with Carol Sue. And I'm looking to find the Wedgwood mark on here, which I know there was, but it's so small. Yes, there it is. It's right at the top. I don't know if it will even focus for you, but you can see the impression there. Now, early pieces of Wedgwood do not say made in England. And in the 20th century, of course, they had to add that on because we insisted on it here in the United States. So we have 25 with Carol Sue. If anyone else is interested, let us know. Sharon, in particular, I think was the other bidder. Otherwise, we will get ready to wrap this up because we have some more stuff to show you all. And yes, she is a wonderful caregiver with a beautiful garden. Absolutely. Okay, we are Going once. We are going twice. And we are sold and bid end. And this goes to Carol Sue Pope for $25. Thank you very much. I'll set that aside. Carol Sue lived in England for a long time, so I know she has an interest in Anglophile items. So we will get that ready for her. Yes, interesting, Diana, that you read on WorthPoint that Wedgwood is making a comeback. I agree. I believe anything with a neoclassical design is making a comeback because there seems to be a real interest in that on the part of younger people, which I find interesting. They see that and they look at it, and that says antique to them. And definitely, those images are based on a lot of uh, Greco-Roman designs and that sort of thing. So, and Wedgwood itself started in the 1750s, so it has quite a heritage as well. Is WorthPoint worth it? That is a very good question. A friend of mine, Harry Rinker, was one of the founders of WorthPoint. He was a big appraiser. And I know that the information that they give, they really it's really a composite of results from auctions. It used to be mainly eBay. They've added other things now. So it's a good place to go to get an idea of what things have sold for, particularly if they haven't sold for a while, because eBay, you really can only look at the last few months. To be honest with you, it just depends how much research you want to do. You can find that information yourself without using WorthPoint if you dig and if you do lots of searches. But WorthPoint certainly makes it easy and puts it all in one place for you. There is one thing about WorthPoint that I have to say, and that is read the description. Don't just look at the value and say, oh, okay, it says it's worth $30, it's worth $30. Because again, WorthPoint is an aggregator. It's like AI. It only knows what it found. It doesn't know whether it's right or not. And just like we're finding that a lot of things that AI are saying are drawn from sources that are incorrect, like my favorite one, um, AI says that only the company in Venezuela made Murano style glass in the Americas and no one else did. That's not true. But there is an article out there that somebody talked to the curator of the Met in New York, who to her, Murano glass is like nothing compared to some of the stuff they're dealing with. And they said, do you know of anyone else who did Murano glass in the Americas? And she said, no, not really, in an offhand way. And now AI insists that only ISET in Venezuela made Murano glass. And that's not true because Chalet glass in Canada was designed by people from Murano, and so were the early pieces of Pilgrim glass. So my roundabout way of saying about WorthPoint is read the description and make sure the piece you're looking at for a value wasn't damaged, wasn't represented incorrectly in some way, where it went for too low a price because they didn't put the right information in the description. So that's what I feel about WorthPoint. Um, and also there is this, which is you might not as necessarily be able to find the things you're looking for in information on there. There's no guarantee. And absolutely right. You have to take the year, the condition. Am I looking at the thing that is exactly the same? So don't just take it at face value. And this is the other thing. I also am too cheap. But I've done this a long time and I know other places to find information. So, and yes, this of course is always true. Sold prices are not asking prices necessarily. If you can find a comparable sale, that's much better than I get people all the time. Oh, it's $1,000 on eBay. Well, did it sell? Oh, it sold for $40. So you got to look behind it. Were Murano artists associated with Jordan imports? I have to be honest, I am not sure the answer to that. I'll have to look into that. If you think of it, send me an email, Sylvia, at the antique nomad at Gmail, and I'll see if I can find out about that. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to sell a couple more items and then we'll do another giveaway. let me get this one ready because I have not done my job here. Okay. The next item, and again, $10 is the opening bid. This is Sasha Brostov. And this is one of the leaf pattern mugs. This is one of the large ones. Back in the 50s, they would have figured that this was a beer size. Nowadays, we might drink water or coffee out of something this size, a nice large cup of coffee, maybe something with a lot of milk and foam and stuff in it. It is about 2 cup size. It is roughly 5.5 inches tall. It has this great square handle. The thing about, and Beth is, oh, okay, I think we've got Diana at 15, if I am understanding right. Naomi is our first at 20. In the event of a tie, the tie goes to the runner. Now, Sasha Brostov, meaning whoever made the bid first, Sasha B is the signature on this, and there is no signature on the bottom and not a rooster mark. This means this came from the first factory. He first had a, okay, well, you guys got ahead of me there. Elderly poodle at 50. Sasha Brostov's first factory was in off of Wilshire Boulevard. Actually, both of his were, but the first factory ran from 1947 to 52, and then it burned. And when they opened the new factory, they started putting a second mark on the bottom that had a gold rooster. So that's how you know the difference between first and second factory. The other thing about the Sasha Brostov is if you see a piece and his name is spelled out on the piece itself, not on a mark on the bottom. But if it said Sasha Brostov, it means he personally made that piece, as opposed to it being part of his production line or one of his factory workers. And those pieces are worth money if you ever see one out there. Elena at 60, now Elderly Poodle at 68. I have been really fortunate. I have a friend who went to Sasha Brostov's estate sale. I've just about sold all of that collection. He kept half of it and let me sell half of it. So I've really had a good time with it. Sasha Brostov just did such crazy things, such great designs. The colors are fun. It just was really ahead of its time. And he had a lot of very, he was known in Hollywood because he had been a set designer, and so he had a lot of Hollywood celebrities. Marilyn Monroe bought from him, Joan Crawford bought from him. A whole lot of people in Hollywood thought he was really something. And so we are at $68, and Elena let us know. Otherwise, we will move on to the next thing here. And yes, Peter is very helpful. Peter Sai in the chat here is quite knowledgeable. I got to meet him. He came to Springfield, Ohio last year when I got to be there. I sure miss going to that show this time. I know Beth Kemper set up there and did well, and some other folks with her, and that was just great. Okay, so we're just waiting to here. If there's any, if Elena, if you're still interested, let us know. Otherwise, we'll close this out. We are at $68 with Elderly Poodle. Let me put that back up there just so everyone knows. And we are going once, and we are going twice, and we are, oh, Elena comes into $80. Okay. Well, Elderly Poodle, the ball's in your court. We are at $80 with Elena on the Sasha B. This particular one I found in Salt Lake City, actually. Salt Lake is surprising. You think of it culturally as being conservative, but a whole lot of people moved there in the mid-century, and there's actually a lot of cool mid-century stuff in Salt Lake. Elderly Poodle is out. So, Elena, it is yours for $80. Thank you very much. And I'll set that aside. And let me make a note of that. And do remember the antique nomad at gmail.com. If you'll send your information, I'll make sure we get these invoiced to you. The next piece here is a Nancy Ann storybook doll, which you actually might have seen me purchase in tonight's video. So she's very fresh to my inventory. I just think they're so cute. My mother used to collect these, and this one is composition, which makes a big difference. I'm going to take her out of the stand. We will send the stand with her to whoever is the high bidder, but I want to take her out so that you see her without a big metal thing around her head. There we go. Okay, so $10 is the opening bid on these. What I liked about the storybook dolls is that they were always a lot of them were based on childhood fables, or they might be a bride or that sort of stuff. But they always were very delicate in the painting, considering how small they are. They always have great eyelashes, and the eyes have pupils and a little heart for the mouth. I just think they're very cute. So $10 is the opening bid on this. It is composition. Karen with the C was asking in the video tonight what composition is. It's like uh, sort of a plaster and other material composite. And that's what most dolls were made out of between about 1930 and about 1955 or so. Then we start seeing vinyl and that sort of thing. And oh, that's neat. Your mother left one for you. I did not know that Misty at Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter was a fan. I've always liked them too. And we have Naomi at 15 now, and Amber Amy at $18 is our current high bid. And this one, again, I was very particular. They had a bunch there, but I only took the two that were in really good shape. This one has her little shoes painted on, or slippers. And I just like the old fabric they used. Originally, they would have had a box and a wrist tag, and this one didn't have either. So I can't tell you which one this is because I don't have the reference book with me. Naomi at $20. And I think they are really sweet. I don't buy a lot of dolls, although I may actually, I've been helping a friend of mine's cousin is having to go into assisted living and sell her doll collection. And I tried to help them price it for an estate sale remotely, and they only had a 1 day sale. So there's a lot left. I may end up having some more dolls, but it is something. The doll market used to be very active, and I'm starting to see signs of life again because all of those very pretty reproduction dolls from the 90s are now old enough. People realize the difference. We're at $25 with Enamor Amy, and Naomi is out. So I think that is our bid end. And there we go. Thank you very much. And I will set her aside for you. And let's see if I can answer for George. Yes, Miss Wildlife is right. I am just not going to be able to make any public appearances this year because I will be in treatments through November, and then at that point after the treatments, it's going to probably be a few months of me rebuilding my immune system and getting my energy back. So honestly, I'm hoping for Florida, Mount Dora sometime early next year to be my reappearance, which will have made exactly a year since I had to start canceling events. And so I definitely am looking forward to getting back in it when I can. I just can't be around a lot of crowds. I can't travel by airplane. I was trying to explain to somebody, it's kind of like COVID right now for me. I have to wear a mask. I have to use sanitizer. I have to be very careful about not being around too many people at one time. And also, just the energy. I don't have the alternative of driving off somewhere because I can't drive for hours a day right now. I just don't have it in me. So we're just going to do the best. Can I still have honey? Yes, I can actually. I have had to give up dessert kind of sugar, which was really tough at first because I am a total sugar freak. Uh, some people, everyone has their vices. Sugar has been mine. It's getting easier. I can have fruit. I can have honey a little bit. I can have natural things. Um, and that is allowable and actually is good because I'm supposed to drink a lot of hibiscus and ginger tea, for example. So, yeah, honey, I am allowed. Um, let's see here. I think we should do another giveaway. Um, and then we'll come back to this. Our next giveaway is going to be this little piece here, which I purchased a collection of when I was in Mexico last year visiting Betty R, who you may see in the chat. And this is acro agate. It is, and again, $10 is our opening bid. This is from the 1930s. Sometimes they're marked on the bottom. This one I do not believe has a mark. No, this one does not. You notice it's slag glass, so it's two colors. Sometimes the background color is actually custard glass, in which case these will glow as uranium glass, and a lot of people don't realize that. But the marble collectors have caught on to that, and this is the same company that made a lot of the marbles. And we have $20 from Miss Wildlife. Thank you. I just think these are really pretty. I think they're interesting. I have been, oh, wait, I'm taking a bid. No, 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 no. This is a giveaway. I'm sorry, Miss Wildlife. I apologize. I got confused because you put a bid in. I promise you, I have one more piece of acro agate that we will be selling. But this one is a giveaway. So um, we're going to have, hopefully, Zeno's still with us here to run the giveaway. Let me see if I can summon him. Hang on just a second. Gosh, that's so funny. Miss Wildlife, I will look for another one in the green for you. Second giveaway, please. Okay, we're gonna let Zeno get back. They're having a big rainstorm there. I'm getting messages from him, and he was out swabbing the decks. So, uh, yes, please. Okay, we've got it going here. All right. So, and I'm so sorry, Miss Wildlife. I did say that. I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing two things at the same time instead of the word is the same. You're already in there. If you already put the word present in, you are in there. If you did not put the word present in, go ahead and do that, and you will be able to do that. And yes, Sylvia, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to stay with things. I'm pretty good most of the time. Occasionally, I a little chemo brain. I don't know what else to say. Um, but we are going to, okay, yes, if you put the word present in, even if you did it earlier, you are in the drawing. And we're just going to wait for the drawing to happen here. And then we will have our winner. So we'll give him just a minute to get the device. Okay, he says he did it. Did it come through? Ah, there we go. Betty Cummings. Okay, I see it here. Betty Cummings. And the rest of you who put in present, you'll be in the next drawing. So thank you, Betty Cummings. You are the winner of the piece of Acro Agate. And Miss Wildlife, I am making a note right now to look for a green one because I think I do have one more. So we'll get this where everybody gets to have what they like. Green acro. And then okay, and then I have Betty down for that piece. Okay. Now, the good news is that the last giveaway will be after we finish the sale, so I won't make that mistake again. Um, all right, here we go. Okay, so now we'll get back to the sale and I'll get my mind on the right track here. We are going to, okay, the next piece here is rather pretty. Now, $10 is the opening bid. Before you start bidding, let me tell you something about it. It is very nice looking. This is not real turquoise. This is Goldette, and Goldette was a costume jewelry maker in the 1960s and 70s especially, and they did a lot of faux turquoise back then. So this is costume, but it's a nice cuff, and now you're welcome to bid if it interests you. $10 is the opening bid. You see that it's a little large for my wrist. I have about a 6-inch wrist. It can be adjusted because it is something that will move. So you could make it a little bit smaller or a little bit larger. And there is the mark on the back that says Goldette. And Goldette, this was definitely one of the things they were the best known for, were the imitations of Native American jewelry. $10 with Leray is our opening bid here. And I think it's a nice look. I mean, when you see up close, you can tell those aren't turquoise, but when you see it on an arm, you really get a good look. And just walking down the street, it definitely has the look of Native American. So we've got $10 with Leray Mitchell. Jacob Haney says he did his first setup at the Long Beach Antique and Vintage Flea yesterday. Wish you could have seen the mess you helped me create. Oh, that's great. Long Beach is supposed to be a really big, really fun show, and I have never been. I've only been to the Rose Bowl. So when I get better, that is on my bucket list to do. And I hope it went well for you. And I just have to say, I'm very excited that a lot of you are stepping into the reselling arena. I think it's just wonderful that we have so many people who are just great collectors who really love collecting. But the business, honestly, we have a generational shift going on where a lot of the baby boomers, the older baby boomers and their parents are actually retiring from the business. So it is great to have new blood joining us. Sarah Wrinkle is at $20 on the cuff. So it's just great. Like they say with the car, it's a good 10-footer. Yes, that's right. Um, how does this work for shipping work for the items being auctioned? We will combine shipping, and the shipping is coming from Seattle. And I just charge actual shipping. I use Pirate Ship to make it as inexpensive as possible. And we just charge actual shipping. Most of the things that we're putting up tonight probably will ship for under $5 or $6. There is one item at the end that's a little bit more heavy than that. Sorry, that's what we're trying to get to there. Sarah's at $20, and if there's Leray, if you're still interested, let us know. Otherwise, we will end the bid and we will move on to the next piece. I do just think this is a cool looking piece. They just they did a good job capturing the geometric design of it all. Okay, we are going once. Oops. Sorry, Leray is out. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and end it there then. And Sarah, that will be yours for $20. Thank you very much. I'll set that aside. Okay. The next piece here, now here's the one, here's the one I intended to sell. So this one is for sale. This is actually, let me make sure I'm telling you right, because this one is a different company. It came from the same collection, but this bright blue is by Vogue Mercantile of New York City. And these were made at the same time as Acro Agate, and they are little favor vases and small vases similar to what Acro Agate was doing. But Vogue was a different company. And again, we're starting this at $10. And you see Vogue Mercantile is the mark on the bottom. This does have one tiny little chip on the bottom. I just want to show that. But made in USA, New York City, about 1940. I love the bright blue color. And it has this very fun sort of feathery pattern at the bottom. It's kind of a late Art Deco, so it's not trying to be entirely an Art Deco style, but it has elements of that, and yet a little bit formal as well. So it's a cute blue color. If anyone is interested, $10 is the starting bid. Tracy Alt says she has one of those. You must have a pretty good collection of this stuff. There's a few folks that do, that's for sure. I put several pieces out at my antique mall space in Centralia, and a young couple happened to run into me there, and they said, "Oh, good, you brought more." We bought 5 pieces last week from you. We love this stuff. So that was fun. Okay, Julie Bug bid $10 first. Hi, Dirt Road Memories. I see you there, but the first bid is the leading bid until we get past that. So Fatbird Finds now at $15. $15 is our high bid. And it just has a nice, like the color is pretty even. It's not as slaggy and variable as the acro agate is. And it measures about 3.5 inches tall. Let's see what we have here. Okay, Foxy Von Red now at $20. And Julie Bug now at 25. Yes, it is very Fatbird's blue, although they have that really deep blue too. I have to say, I think Fatbirds has the best logo on YouTube Vintage Channel. $25 now with Julie Bug Treasures. Foxy let us know. And Fatbirds let us know. Donnie says it sounds like she's living on the wrong side of the country. I don't think there is a wrong side. People ask me a lot. And yes, thank you, Naomi. Yes, acanthus leaf. That is absolutely, this is an acanthus leaf style, which is a very traditional style you see in a lot of old furniture. Anyway, I was starting to say, people ask me, since I travel across the country, usually where I find the best stuff, where the best shows are. I don't think that there's one answer to that. I really think it just depends where you go. I've seen amazing things at estates in rural Kentucky. I've seen great things at estates in Seattle. I've seen great things at estates in Florida. I've done really well at shows in Ohio and Michigan, as well as the West Coast, as well as Florida in the winter. It is seasonal. Okay, everyone else is out. So Foxy, it is yours for $30. We'll put in the bid end. Thank you very much. And we will combine shipping for you, of course. So I don't think there is a wrong answer to where to be and where to find things. It's just, it may vary with the season. And if you're able to travel, well, you get to see different things. One thing that we forget sometimes in the modern age where you go into Walmart in Poughkeepsie and you go into Walmart in Huntington Beach, California, and they both have the same stuff. Back in the old days, things were much more regional. You would see catalogs that said prices higher west of the Mississippi if it was made in the East, or vice versa. If you were in Denver, you might get almost anything because it was a big rail center, and so stuff came from all over the country and was distributed out. So there is regional variation even still. Um, let me. Oh, okay. Um, we'll get to that. All right, so let me put down, this is for Foxy, and we've got a few more things. And all right, the next one I'm going to have to go grab, so bear with me just one moment. This one literally flew away from me, but it is just fine, so we will put it up now. This is a Rose Lane Sparkler, and this is one of the owls, and this is one of the first generation they did. They did another owl in the 70s with bigger glass eyes that are root beer colored, but this is from about 1960 when they did rhinestone eyes in pink. And I just think they're really cool. Again, $10 is our opening bid on this. This one also has a little, just a touch of pinkish hue in the glaze, but it really mainly is brown. It's really the eyes that vary on these. And I think they're really fun. $10 with Beth Kemper, 20 with Foxy. And on the bottom, it might be hard to see, but it does. Yeah, it says USA here It's very obscure, but it does say Rose Lane. It's just kind of hard to read because this one doesn't have a good impression. And Beth at 25, now Foxy at 30. I do think it's a very pretty piece. Beth at 35. Oh, yes, a sparkler Siamese, Maggie Max is saying. I wish I had a Siamese. I gave one of those to my mother as a gift years ago, and it ended up being kept by my niece when my mother passed. So, yes. Uh, okay, 45 now with Foxy. $50 for Beth Kemper. I like the detail in these two, and it's a bisque porcelain, so it has a sort of just a little bit of a rough feel to it. Okay, Beth is out, and I think that makes it Foxy's, and I will put in bid end, and there you go. Thank you so much. We'll set that down. That's going to be very cute. It actually should look great with the Fenton vase because well, just for fun, we'll just hold these up because I noticed this when I put them out. They kind of go together. All right. We've got a couple things left, and then we'll have our last drawing. And let me see, the penultimate piece here, another little piece of glass. This is Boyd's. It's from, I know it's a Boyd, but it's Boyd's. It's a duck on nest as opposed to a hen. It's a miniature. It's only about 2.5 inches wide and maybe 2 inches tall. But this one is Vaseline glass. This was done in the late 80s. The late 80s are when people started to discover the black lighting. And that's when we started to see a new collector looking for this sort of thing. Before, it was people who liked Victorian glass or Green Depression glass for the color. And now all of a sudden people had black lights and you could get a black light and put it in a case. And all of a sudden people started being interested. So Boyd's started making Vaseline glass like this. And so this one will glow under a black light. I do not have a black light here to show you, but it is absolutely going to glow under a black light because I've had this piece before. And it's a little hard to see because there's texture in the bottom, but the B in the triangle is the Boyd's mark right there. So $10 is the opening bid on this, if anyone is interested. And yes, it is a little hen and it glows big, that is for sure. It is bright as can be, and we have Donnie at 20. Yeah, Peter says, just like my super whitened teeth. Yes, yes, I've been noticing that the teeth whitening thing, that might be something I need to do. You get to a certain point in life, and I have a friend who's are so bright that it's practically like the surface of the moon. $30 now for Naomi. Again, no cracks or chips on this one. I try to be very careful, and I always try to point them out if I see them. But I just think this guy is cool. They made them in lots of other colors too, but this is the one that fluoresces. And I'm excited for your sparkler too. They really are fun. Fatbird Finds $35 now. And it is the nesting hen. Yes, absolutely. And it has Boyd's was pretty good about texturing too. I mean, it's pretty detailed for being small. Sometimes you see these and they're not really as well done, but you definitely get the basket weave and you get the feathers, and there's some detail to this. We are at $35. If anyone else is interested, let us know. And there is the back end with that little tail. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we're going to go ahead and sell this. And that goes to Fatbird Finds for $35. I'm sorry, Diane. You came in just a second late. I apologize. We do our best, but Sometimes we call it before we know. So mini duck voids and 35. We've got it. Okay. We have one piece left, and then we'll do our last giveaway. Um, Somebody said that Carol Sue Pope was saying, "Have you seen the newbies who don't know about what or why glass glows and shine their black lights on every piece in the thrift store?" And that is true. Um, oh, well, that's awfully nice, Diane. She's offering it to you for the $35 that she had bid on it. I'm going to leave that up to you to decide if you want to accept that. Then we will make that yours instead. So let us know in the chat. And as far as the black lights in the thrift store, you know, I think part of the reason is that people are using these crazy black lights that have a whole dimension that can make certain things glow that wouldn't glow under the standard black light. And so I think now it's kind of changed the game. And it's also, I think people, they're finding other things that fluoresce too. Someone the other day told me, I have a collection of Russian lacquer boxes. I happen to put my black light on and I shine them, and all of them fluoresce. And it's something in the paint. So I think people are just really enjoying the experimenting and trying to see what's out there. Um, let's see. So Diane Wilson again, if you would like that piece, let us know because Fatbird said she would make it available to you. So let us know in the chat, and we'll go on to our last piece here in the meantime. And the last piece is actually a three-piece set, and this is Fenton. Okay, well, that is really nice. You're both playing very, very nicely with each other. So um, please keep it at 35. Okay, okay, very good. So I guess we're gonna let Fatbirds have it for the bid, and that's very kind of both of you. Okay, so the last piece we have here, or three pieces, are Fenton, and this is satin glass. This is from about 1970 because it does not have a Fenton mark. And again, this is $10 opening bid, and it is the full console bowl set. It is the pair of candlesticks and the bowl in the water lily pattern. This is the one that I said was actually going to weigh a little bit because this is multiple pieces. This might cost roughly $10 shipping, I would estimate. And $10 is the opening bid. So for anybody who's interested in this, you're welcome to place a bid. And here again, if you put color behind it, it turns any color you want it to be. Some people float candles in these. Some people use them as candy dishes. I do really like the candlestick holders, and it is a nice set. And again, it's three pieces, all in good shape. There's no damage. And Lorray is starting us out at $10. And I will hold these pieces up individually so you can see them a little better. Now, interestingly enough, the candlestick does have the Fenton mark on it, and it doesn't have a year date that I can see. So again, I believe these are 1970s. And here are the pair of candlesticks, the low candlesticks together, made to hold a very tall candle, of course. And then the bowl does not have the logo. And that makes sense because Diane now is in at 25. That makes sense because Fenton did not mark everything until about 1975. They started marking some things in the mid 60s, and part of that had to do with when they started making carnival glass because they wanted to mark the newer pieces so that people didn't get mad that they were issuing some of their old patterns of carnival glass again. They didn't want to confuse the collectors because they knew the collectors were the reason that people were suddenly interested in carnival and that they could have a market and start making it again. So I thought that was pretty respectful of them. We have Sarah at 30, and Peggy, I see your bid, but Sarah was there first. So Sarah is currently the leader at $30, and it is for the three pieces. I always like the design on this. There's something about water lilies. Usually this time of year I'm in Kentucky and there's a lake near where Zeno is that is full of water lilies this time of year. I kind of miss seeing that. I'm going to set this down and hold up the candles again. So currently we're at $30 with Sarah. Peggy, let us know if you're still in or anybody else. And then after this, we're going to do the last giveaway. And I will have to, have you checked those for glow? The pair I gave the benefit auction glow. I have not checked these for glow. See, there you go. Carol Sue, you may, I may be the one who needs to be running around with a black light on everything because I think I am missing some stuff. Yes, yeah, real water lilies in a lake. Yeah, Kentucky is actually a very, very pretty place in the summertime. It's got a lot of natural beauty. And yeah, that would be interesting if these glowed. And I unfortunately don't have any way to tell because I don't have a strong enough black light. I have a little teeny tiny one that will not really light these correctly. So Sarah's at 30. Let us know because we're going to wrap this up very shortly here. We are and Elena, yes, to complete the purchase, thank you so much, by the way. Send your information, your PayPal billing email, and your mailing address to me at theantiquenomad@gmail.com. And then I'll be able to send you an invoice. Peggy at 32, Sarah now at 38. So 38 is our high bid. Peggy, let us know. Diane at 39. Yeah, this is a pretty set. And I like frosted glass. I really think that I really think satin glass. It's interesting to me the way they do it. When they tore the Fenton factory down and built a school on the site, okay, we have 42 with Sarah, now 44 with Maggie Max. When they built a school on the site, they actually had to do a lot of cleaning because the acid bath that they would put these things in was underground. And because of that, one of the decorators who worked there told me this, because of that, they had some pollution issues because the acid they put this in it's pretty strong. That's how it creates this finish. And satin glass really is lovely, I think, too. Maggie Max at 44 is our current high bidder. And so Sarah let us know. And Peggy let us know if you're still in. Sarah is out. And I think we're going to wrap this up. So we are going once, we are going twice, and we are sold. Yes, sounds like a bad Simpsons episode. Yes, that's true. Yeah, there is a certain amount of, these beautiful objects that we love. It takes, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, and it takes some industrial processes to make some of these things. Okay, Peggy, thank you very much. And that means that this is going to Maggie Max, and thank you. And Maggie and all of you who won or who won a giveaway, we have one more left. Please do send your information to me, theantiquenomad@gmail.com, and I will get these ready for you, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so okay, here we go. We have to have you all put the word present in one more time. For some reason, the Nightbot, it did it twice well, and this time we have to actually have you put it in again. So everybody go ahead and put present in one more time. And after you've done that, we'll go ahead and give away the last item. The last item is this. This is our last giveaway. This is a really, I think, very sweet 6.5-inch tall, well, actually closer to 7.5-inch tall vase. This is German. This is West German, actually. It does have the mark on the bottom. It has a company name as well, but it's very difficult to read through the thick glaze, so I'm not sure which company did this. But this is ceramic. It's from about 1970. It is hand painted. And yes, that's right. Absolutely. So yes, please go ahead and put the word present in the chat if you would like to be in the uh, running for the giveaway. If this goes to somebody who already won something, we will redraw, but we had to reset it. So my apologies for that. But it is a very pretty piece, hand painted with an interesting floral design. And then that sort of, it's very mid-century in a German way um, with that sort of lattice work up the middle. And I just thought it was really interesting. We have 56, now 57 entries. And I do see that, okay, Betty Cummings, good. Yeah, we still have you here for the piece that you won. So again, do send me an email to that address. And we're just waiting to see who else is, oh, Original Nethead is here. Hello. We're just waiting to see who else puts present in, and then we will go ahead and make the drawing here. And if you do not have email Betty, I'll tell you what. Um, in my videos, I show my mailing address, and that if you don't have email, then the best way for you would be send me something so that I know how to reach you. If you can't send it by email, then send it by snail mail, and we'll just wait to get it, and then we'll get your piece out for you. Okay. If everyone's put present in who wants to be in the drawing for this, then we will go ahead and make that. Okay, we're doing it. We will see who the winner is of the last piece. Lorraine Mitchell. Lorraine Mitchell, this is for you. Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to send this to you. This came from a state in Southern Oregon and was going to go with me for show season and never did, so it was meant to be yours. And I will make a note of that. And with that, if there's any more questions or thoughts or parting things you'd like to know, let me know. Otherwise, we will go ahead and wrap up for the evening. It was sure fun to get to do this with you. I'm going to try to do this every month around the third week of the month because, like I said, this seems to be my good week where I'm far enough from between treatments and between labs that I have the energy to spend some time and have some fun with you. So we will do this again in the not too distant future, about 4 weeks from now. And look for that. We'll make sure that we get announcements out. And thank you all very much. I had a lot of fun too. It's really good to spend time with you again. It definitely makes me feel like I'm not alone. And that's a wonderful feeling. So um, thank you all for everything. And with that, I'm going to close out here. And oh, that's right. You're from Southeast Oregon. Great. Well, that was just meant to be. So thank you all so much. Have a great evening, and we'll see you on the regular channel for Monday and Wednesday videos, and we'll see you here again. And we'll have a few things on the Shorts channel too. So we'll just keep coming at you from all over the place.